Hey everyone, and welcome back to ShareTreck. I'm Jack, and with me again is Dianne.
Hey everyone.
So Dianne, today we're going to be looking at the November jobs report.
Yeah.
And obviously for investors, this is a really important report.
Oh, you.
Gives us
Yeah.
a lot of signals about where the markets might be heading.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, I mean, at first glance, things look pretty good.
Great.
The jobs numbers rebounded.
Yeah.
They actually exceeded expectations.
They did.
But I get the feeling, Dianne, that maybe things aren't as rosy as they seem.
Well, anytime we look at the jobs report, we always want to kind of look beneath the surface, right? We want to see what's really going on.
So we're going to do our insight.
That's right.
Today into the November jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
The BLS.
And really trying to unpack what's going on here.
Okay.
So I guess, just to get started, why should investors even care about this kind of stuff?
Well, I mean, it's really a good question because you're always, as an investor, you're looking for signals. Right? You're looking for signals about the future of the market.
Yeah.
And while, we see good headline numbers about job growth, there are signals that we see when we dig a little deeper that suggest there could be some issues.
Yeah.
There could be a market correction brewing.
So let's jump into some of those signals.
Let's do it.
I mean, one of the big things that stood out to me in the report was healthcare and social assistance. Added a ton of jobs.
I know. Over 72,000.
So that's a lot of jobs.
It is.
So what does that mean for investors?
Well, it means a couple of things. One, this is a sector that's been consistently strong for a while now, right?
Right.
So it could be a sign of underlying economic strength.
Okay.
It could also be a sign of, a shifting demographic, an aging population that needs more care, potentially driving up costs,
right.
And straining the economy.
So that could be a little bit of a yellow flag.
Yeah, not necessarily the picture of robust growth that we want to see.
Okay, gotcha. Another area that saw some big gains was leisure and hospitality.
Yeah, over 53,000 jobs.
So people going back to restaurants.
Going on vacation.
Traveling. That seems like a pretty good sign, right?
It might, but we have to remember what happened last month.
Okay.
Last month we saw the Boeing strike and the hurricanes really hit manufacturing. And professional services, particularly hard. So, this month, we're seeing a bounce back, 22,000 jobs added in manufacturing, and 26,000 in professional services.
But that might just be because of what happened last month.
Yeah, it's really hard to say, is this a genuine recovery, or are we just returning to normalcy?
Right, and I guess if those were just temporary factors, what happens when they're not boosting the numbers anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So let's move on to some other things that maybe are a little more concerning. Retail trade, lost jobs.
Lost 28,000 jobs.
28,000? That's a lot of jobs to lose.
It is a lot of jobs, especially as we're heading into the holiday season.
Right. I mean, what does that tell us?
Well, I think it suggests that consumer spending might be weakening.
Okay.
Which could have a ripple effect on corporate earnings and investor confidence.
So this could be a pretty serious signal.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might say, oh, it's just a temporary blip.
Well, it's possible. But, I think you have to take it seriously. And consider, the long-term trends that are impacting retail, like the shift to online shopping. So this could be more of a structural change that's happening.
Okay. And then another area that I thought was kind of interesting was government. Government added 33,000 jobs.
That's right.
Which is
a little bit of an anomaly.
Because we've seen job cuts recently.
We have.
So what's going on there?
Yeah, it's a great question. It could be a sign of expanding government programs. It could also be a sign of increased infrastructure spending. Now, that might sound positive on the surface, right? But it could also signal a shift towards more government involvement in the economy, which, some investors might view with caution.
Right. So we got these sort of
three areas: healthcare, leisure and hospitality, government. That'll have some yellow flags, retail's flashing red.
Yeah.
But there's one area that I saw in the report that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Financial activities added 17,000 jobs.
17,000 jobs.
So what's driving that?
Well, it's likely being driven by the current political climate,
Okay.
the potential for deregulation
Uh-huh.
and increased mergers and acquisitions.
Right.
You know, companies are looking to grow.
Is that sustainable?
That's the question. Is this a short-lived bubble?
Yeah.
Or is this a trend that's going to continue?
Right.
So I think investors need to really think carefully
Yeah.
about the long-term implications of that.
So just to play devil's advocate.
Here, are you saying, Dianne, that this report's a sign that the good times are coming to an end?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that,
Okay.
but I am saying that investors need to be cautious. Don't just look at the headline numbers.
Right.
You really have to dig deeper, understand the why behind the numbers, look for potential weaknesses, and be prepared for a potential market correction.
So what's the key takeaway then?
I think the key takeaway is be informed, be skeptical, and don't let the hype cloud your judgment.
Okay.
You know, job growth is generally a good thing, but you got to understand the nuances of the report, dig a little deeper, and really make informed decisions.
Great advice, Dianne.
Yeah.
And as always, everyone, this is just our analysis based on the November jobs report.
Absolutely.
This is not financial advice. Do your own research before making any investment decisions. But we would love to hear your thoughts. So down in the comments, let us know. Those bounce back sectors, do plateaus, and consumer spending weakens. What do you think? The most likely scenarios are for the market in the coming months.
Yeah.
And as always, please subscribe to the channel. Helps us grow. It really does. Thanks for joining us on ShareTreck.
Thanks, everyone.